Man, I have been called an anti-Semite by everybody under the sun for the last 6 years. As soon as I started caring, the Muslim extremists started calling and writing, and we had to have security because Glenn Beck has got to stop saying these things and stop saying that Muslim extremists are violent or I will cut off his head myself. That was my favorite quote the FBI gave me from one extremist. No, you're not violent. You'll cut my head off to prove that you're not violent? Nobody wants to be a pariah. I didn't care a few years ago, but after 9/11, I promised I would find out what was going on. So, what is it? We are a nation that is based on Judeo-Christian values and the Bible, period. You might not buy into the olives and the branches and everything else. It's fact. It's fact. But there's no way to deny that the majority of our laws come directly from the Scriptures, right directly from Deuteronomy. And the Bible comes from Judah. Not the northern tribe, the southern. Judah. They were supposed to preserve it, and they did. The people of Jerusalem. We owe our existence in many ways. We owe our laws to them. Do you really think that I am a religious guy. Others who are not will think this is hogwash. But I don't care anymore. I haven't from some time. I'm stating who I am. We owe the people of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we owe our support and our allegiance. Not blind allegiance, and I'm not talking about putting troops down on the ground. We have to be on not only their side, but God's side. When Thomas Paine wrote about his disbelief in God, Franklin felt compelled to write him and in giving him a scathing critique. That was like father and son. Here's part of it. He said, he wrote to his adopted son, if you will, Thomas Paine, I would advise you not to attempt unchaining the tiger, but to burn this piece before it is seen by any other person, whereby you'll save yourself a great deal of mortification by the enemies it may raise against you, and perhaps a good deal of regret and repentance. If men are so wicked with religion, what would they be without it? Samuel Adams wrote the same thing. He wrote, when I heard you had turned your mind into a defense of infidelity, I felt myself astonished and grieved that you had attempted such a measure so injurious to the feelings and repugnant to the true interest of so great part of the citizens of the United States. Here's what he's saying. How dare you? You have actually grown up and you have benefited from a society that has Judeo-Christian values. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to like church. You don't even have to like God. But to condemn God and try to say to the rest of society, that's nonsense, how dare you? The only reason why we exist is because of God. I feel like I have to shake the shoulders of some of my friends and look them in the eye and say, without the Torah, without the people of Judah, you have no law. Ours doesn't exist. Our country doesn't exist. Nothing exists. You get rid of the Torah, you get rid of the Bible, nothing works anymore. Then what are our laws based on? Opinion. Man's opinion. Oh, well, that's good. This is why I care about Israel and what we're going to do tonight. If Israel goes, if the Bible goes, you need an entirely new way to govern, because ours is nonsense then. And that's exactly what all the powerful on the earth would like. I want you to take a second and look at what they want to replace our government and our system with. They'll tell you right now, well, we just kind of wing it. Oh, really? When they really get down to it, they're all saying that the state capitalism, as they call it, communist China, state capitalism, the model of China, that's what the future is going to be. May I remind you, may I beg you, that system has people throwing themselves off of buildings. That system is evil. and we have gone dead inside and we don't even know it anymore. I don't know. I don't want to live that way. The other model that is currently out there and being talked about is Sharia law. Oh, well, that's crazy. Is it? Not for 1 billion people on earth based on the Quran. I don't want that either. The other model will be something that nobody really has articulated yet. Oh, we're not going to do either of those. They're doing something. Well, give it to me. Because I've never sold a house, even a crappy house, with absolutely no idea where my family is going to live. Have you? Because I haven't. Until you can show me the address of where we're headed, I'm not moving. What are we doing? Sorry. One thing I don't want to do is get my blood pumping. I want you to sit down with your kids, and I want you to teach them. I want you to teach them American history, like we told you last night. Thank you, Oprah Winfrey. Sincerely. Thank you for reminding us about Emmett Till so we could remind America who he really was. And then I want you to teach your kids biblical history, because it is our history, and it matters, as I will show you tonight.